Doing a review for my favorite show. This is a review for The 100, Season 5, Episode 6, entitled Warrior's Will. And I'll be honest, I thought tonight's episode was kind of forgettable. I'm trying to remember what happened on tonight's episode. Not an extremely bad episode, just kind of lukewarm. We had three basic storylines: what was going on in Polis, what was going on in the valley, and what was going on with Clark and Maddie in the desert, I guess. And we'll just start there because that's the simplest. So Clark and Maddie, they're driving around in the middle of the night in the desert, and Maddie wakes up and she's pissed at Clark because Clark's leaving the Polis area, which I was like, what? Like, they started getting into an argument. Maddie wants to go back, and Clark is like, no, he can't go back because Octavia is going to kill you. And I'm like, speaking of just forgettable, did they forget what happened in the last episode? I mean, Maddie knows that Clark was getting her out of Polis because she was in the Jeep and she was awake when it happened. And she knows that Octavia really wants to kill her because they had that one henchman who went with them, and he pulled a gun on the two of them. And he said, I'm just following orders. And of course, then Maddie does that whole, you served the commander before me, now serve me. And the guy dropped his knees. Clark shoots him. I didn't get that. Why isn't Maddie didn't realize that Clark didn't want to be anywhere near Octavia and her little blood cult? But, like I said, the two of them have an argument, and then Clark reveals that she took the worms as well. And she takes the worms out, starts throwing them out on the ground, so now Octavia doesn't have the worms to use against the people in the valley. So I guess that's good. And later they make it to the valley where they find Paxton McCreary. He's executing the defectors. He found a group of them. He just starts shooting them one by one. And then he leaves. And then Clark and Maddie, they jump the guy who's burying the bodies to get some information. And it's stuff we already know. DeSouza is in hiding. Paxton McCreary's trying to kill her. Abby's in the gas station. And they'll go there, and we'll save that for when I cover what happened in the valley, which is next. We'll just get into that. So, not a lot going on in the valley. Paxton, he has Abby. He wants her to find the cure. Well, she already found the cure, so he wants her to cure him. I don't think she has the equipment, and, the only friend she has is that serial killer. Paxton says, you know what, you ain't going to do this. I'm going to take away your pills. So Abby starts suffering from withdrawal, and her friend Vincent, the serial killer, ends up getting her the pills, but this pisses off two of the guards, and Vincent is forced to rip out their throats with his teeth. He just bites right into them. That was exciting. Finally, we get to see this scary serial killer guy do something. And is he in love with Abby? Did they just introduce that storyline? Because I'm kind of getting a Vincent, Abby's ship is apparently be going here, so we'll just call that Abson. Is anyone trying to ship that, the serial killer and Abby? I get the feeling that Kane's going to have to take out the serial killer. Or, he's going to get in a fight with Kane, and then Abby's going to shoot the serial killer. Yeah. So anyway, Abby gets her pills, and she almost ODs, and then Clark shows up, and they have a reunion. And Clark's like, what are we going to do? He's like, I can't help Paxton. Got to fuck him over. And that's all I remember from that. I don't know if they came up with a plan on the spot right there, what they were going to do. Okay, so let's get into the interesting stuff that's going on in the bunker. Last episode, Bellamy, Indra, and Gaia, they were all captured. They're going to have to go to the pits. And they're just kind of working up to that where, Indra, she's going to kill Bellamy, and then she might take her own life so she can save her daughter. Her daughter wants to kill Octavia. Bellamy wants to pull some kind of passive-aggressive shit where he doesn't do anything because he knows that, Octavia isn't going to kill him. And the conversations they were having just felt like they were repeating themselves over and over again. Guy is talking about the faith. Indra is talking to Octavia about their relationship, about how, Indra took her in, and then Indra became her second in command, was always giving her advice, and she's giving her advice against this war. And then Bellamy's, has the conversation with Octavia, and he's like, "You've changed, sister." And Octavia's like, "We used to be so much friends." And eventually they end up in the pit, where they get the fighting on. Indra's kicking ass. And then out of nowhere, in comes my man Monty with a flower. I guess it should have brought that up. There was a scene where Octavia goes to check on Monty and say, "Aren't you going to try to help my brother escape?" And Monty's like, "No, not really. I'm just so tired of that crap. I just want to grow these plants." And because of this algae, the farm unit in the bunker is growing a lot of plants. And it can make flowers and eventually fruits, so they don't have to go to the valley. They can make their own food. And, Monty shows everyone the flower and was like, "Oh!" All of a sudden they decide to throw a coup against Octavia because, they don't have to go to war. And, of course, they have that successor in Maddie. And everyone kind of turns on her. And I thought it was kind of interesting because, they were like, "No more blood, Reina, no more blood, Red Queen." But at the same time, it didn't really look like they were going to, chop her head off. It's just they're going to ask her to step down. But what does fucking Octavia do? She goes down to the farming lab and burns everything. And I was like, oh, God. What a fucking bitch. This isn't about survival. This is about her staying in power. Wanting to keep being the Blood Reina. She's got to keep that society going. And she doesn't make any changes to adjust to the new situation. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. The fucking roof of the fucking bunker is knocked down. Calm the fuck down a bit. But no, they really want us to hate Octavia this season. I'm guessing Marie Annabelle isn't going to be around for season 6. They're going to kill her off. So they're turning her into the next Finn, where they're just making her an unbearable, unlikable character, and then we don't feel anything when that character gets killed off. Yeah. I forgot one more thing with Maddie. I just thought of it. She starts having dreams of the old commanders. She had an interesting one where Becca, that's the first commander, that's the one who helped make Allie, who destroyed the world. Then she went she was on the space station trying to develop, something so people could survive on the Earth with the black blood and the chip. And she eventually crashed down to Earth, where she saw the ancestors, the Grounders, which was the crazy death cult, coming out with hazmat suits. And, we see a flashback where Becca is on a stake being burned by those guys while she's pleading for her life. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. We get to see what ended up happening to Becca. I really didn't like the Becca character. I'll be honest, because she just kind of fucked everyone over on that station. Got them all killed, and it's like, are we supposed to like this character? I don't like her. But anyway, I thought it was interesting because it's like, did that happen right after she came down to Earth? Because I was under the assumption that she became the first commander, and they're basically this deity in their eyes. Why are they burying her at the stake? Did she ever have... I mean, it's her memory, so apparently they got the chip out of her. Did she talk them out of it? Are we going to see more of how the Grounder civilization came to be? That might be interesting. And, that was the episode. Like I said, it wasn't an episode I hated. It wasn't an episode I super loved. It was just an episode of the 100, and that's all I can say about it.